So guys, in this lecture we will be talking about how you can manipulate session ID. So we'll be using a tool called Suit, which is a built-in tool on Kali Linux. But you can also tool that are similar that you can use is called like Wasp or Zap proxy, which is pretty much similar, but we'll be using Suit because it is free and it's very easy to understand and use, and also it is pre-installed on Kali Linux, so you don't need to separately download and install it, and also don't need to pay for any software. It is free, and also it is enormously powerful tool, and it's particularly good at proxying. So the traffic from your browser that can be intercepted using this suit, and then it can enable you to manipulate the traffic, such as you can see how the application behaves under certain difficult defined circumstances, and that's exactly what we're going to do now. So let me go and run our burp suit. So set as temporary because we are using as temporary use burp suit default. So let's run. So the thing about this Babsur is we can use it to proxy all of our traffic through it, and as soon as you open it, it's ready to run because its intercept is on. As you can see, intercept is on. So first what you need to do is you need to set up your Babsur tool and also your browser to intercept, otherwise you cannot intercept the website that you want to manipulate your session ID or manipulate their session ID. So first go to the option. So you have to set this proxy at your on the browser that you will be using or you will be manipulating. So let's go to our browser and change our proxy to, let's go to settings, search for proxy. Is proxy. So just go to manual proxy configuration, just set it as 127. This is the default, as you can see in here. So just copy this port is 8080 SOX v5, press OK. So your browser may vary because I am using Firefox, you may be using Chrome Edge, but this proxy configuration page will be same, so make sure you change this to this. Also you can select as localhost in here, but we will be using this. Because this is pretty much the same. So first we need to intercept our session ID. So first let's turn off our intercept and visit our website. So this is the website, and just what you have to do in order to get your session ID, in the opponent or the browser account need to be login. So let's just log in. So the default username is admin and the password is password. So let's just admin password. So as you can see, we didn't intercept anything because our intercept is on. So let's turn on our intercept so that we can get our session ID and then manipulate it to our user case. So turn on and press home. As you can see, immediately it get our session ID, which is this, and as you can see this page is loading because we intercept our connection using suit. So when we click forward, then this page will move forward because as we are intercepting, this will continuously loading, as you can see. So what you need to do now is you need to copy the session ID and paste it inside a notepad so that you can manipulate and paste it to another browser so that we can immediately manipulate and copy the session ID and use it to another browser or your another machine. So as our intercept is running, so what you have to do now is like open up your another browser. So let's see if we have any another browser. Okay, we don't have another browser in here, so let's create a new let's create a new private new window. Okay. So let's totally create a new window so that we can manipulate our session ID that we copied from the user that login their account. So copy the URL of this page, so which is this, copy, send it to your new or other browser, paste. What you need to do now is you need to turn on your so now you have to turn on your intercept so that we can intercept a different page. As you can see, we intercept it. So we just simply need to do is you need to copy and paste it our session ID that we copied from our previous. So what it did is from the user that login and without giving admin username and password, we will be hacking or manipulating or copying their session ID, and without giving a username and password, we will be instantly log in their ID without even giving a username and password. So simply press forward so that we can forward this page because this page is loading, and immediately this forward page will go to the home page. So let's see. As you can see, we logged in as username and we didn't even put any password or username before logging into this page. That's how this session ID actually works. It is much more powerful than just changing attributes or replacing the request or response to that matter, but it is one good example that how we can testing for the risk of session ID just a little bit easier. So that's that about manipulating the session ID using Burp Suite tool.